For a decade now, Somali and African Union troops backed by U.S. drones have managed to suppress the militant group Al-Shabaab, at least from the capital Mogadishu. But a recent bombing in October proved that the militant group remains a potent threat. CGTN's Abdulaziz Billow takes us through the uphill task Somalia's new president Mohamed Abdullahi is up against as he seeks to stabilize the Horn of Africa nation.
His election victory in February is one seen as a public quest for change in the country's top office. Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo defeated Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud in one of the most competitive elections in Somalia's modern-day history. But Farmajo inherited the same old challenges, chief among them Al-Shabaab.
My vision is to defeat Al-Shabaab within the next 2 years. That's the vision I would like to see happen within the next 2 years, to bring peace and stability in Somalia.
10 months into his term, Al-Shabaab has struck several times, including a deadly truck bomb on October 14th in the KM5 junction, an attack that killed 500 people, with some still unaccounted for. The attack is by far the single most deadly attack to ever rock Somalia. A few days after that attack, President Farmajo declared a state of war and traveled to countries contributing troops to the African Union mission to seek support in his upcoming offensive. And earlier this month, Mogadishu held a major security conference that brought together international actors.
I'm confident that together we will disrupt, dismantle, and defeat the terrorists. We will return full control of all Somali's territories to the legitimate state and its people. We as a government are absolutely determined to win the war against Al-Shabaab and ISIS with a strong commitment and support of our valued international partners.
Security experts, however, say that the current strategy has failed and needs to be reviewed.
It requires change of method. What has been in place doesn't work. What has been in place for the Americans, for the Somalis, for even AMISOM, it just were reacting and was just pushing. It was a conventional war. And fighting a terrorism doesn't need a conventional war. But the current strategy where the Americans and Somalis, it failed.
Washington has so far carried out 32 aerial strikes this year, killing hundreds of militants, but at the same time displacing hundreds of civilians, mainly in southern Somalia. It has also struck ISIL bases north of the country, hoping to dismantle the group that's losing in Syria and Iraq. In mid-December, an Al-Shabaab suicide bomber targeted a police parade, killing 18 officers, in an attack that comes as AMISOM begins its gradual exit from the country.
Can AMISOM leave in time? Can AMISOM still remain in Somalia? Is it possible Somalia to take over their responsibility as a security in this country, as a full functioning authority? I think there is a huge question on air which need to be answered. And I think Somalia need to do something better. Somali government is absolutely dragging its feet towards being a capable authority in this country.
The government here argues that it has made much progress on the security front. Here in the capital, Mogadishu, a special task force has been established that has helped reduce the number of attacks here in Mogadishu. But the group's ever-increasing tactics has proved a major challenge to government forces, who, despite immense challenges, remain on the forefront in fighting Africa's deadliest militant group. Abdulaziz, Billow, CGTN, Mogadishu, Somalia.